We are doing computers today. More specifically, we're writing a dialogue because I had a really good idea. And we're going to lay out the idea. We're going to lay out exactly what's going to happen. Right? So we've got a Word document here. And I'm going to give y'all the concept. This won't be boring, I swear. It's beautiful, I know. Shakespeare would cry reading this. Anyway, so we are trying to establish a character because something I've been working on is the character Dionysus. Right? Big Greek god, wine man, woman, greatness, but at the same time, theater, because that's what's important, that's what matters. So, I want a scene between Dionysus and Everyman. For anyone who doesn't know what Everyman is, it was this anonymous play written in the... I've got to double check when it was written, but it was... No one knows who wrote it. What we do know is that it was a morality play in the medieval times. This isn't necessarily going to be a history lesson, but it's important to understand the background of whatever you're writing when you write something. So, the idea is that Dionysus is speaking to Everyman. Because Dionysus is seen as sort of that, link between the divine and the humans. It's very powerful, and I like it a lot. But to work Dionysus and Everyman together, we've got to understand each character separately. So we're going to create two beautiful, beautiful summaries of every character. The first of which will naturally be... Not naturally, because I can't think on my feet. Because I'm lonely. Because nobody loves me. Dionysus. I was going to say Everyman, but we're sticking with this. Because that's called fluency. And many people do love me, and I love them back. I ruined that, didn't I? So, we're going to create a very nice, neat little diagram between Dionysus, who is very cosmically competent, and between Everyman, who is frustrated. Because beyond everything, this is an exploration. Again, we're getting literate here. This won't be every episode. This is just, remember, just bear with me here. This is an exploration of some existential concepts. To go into those now, I'll put a list here. I'll just edit it here so that you know. Every concept starts with an idea. Every idea develops into a concept. So I'm thinking, we open very simply. Dionysus coming down. I don't know when the last time he was on Earth. The Bacchae, what Pentheus, I don't know these names very well. I need to do more research on my Greek mythology. But Dionysus comes down and he's like, yo, what's up? Of course, he'd use more sophisticated language than that. But basically, he comes down and he greets Everyman and he says, what's going on? What is becoming of the earth? What is the world like? Because up in Olympus it's great, there's wine, there's parties. No, I don't like that. I don't like that idea because Dionysus is the not so much the ambassador for the divine, but he's the link. So he should embody both. Agony and ecstasy, madness and sanity. That kind of thing needs to fit into his character. So I'm pondering whether every man begins. And every man comes out and he's like, yo, Dionysus, what's up? One day I'll focus. One day I will lock in and I'll get something done. But Dionysus comes down to every man and he's like, what's wrong? What could possibly be at fault for a human being with such small perception and such infinite potential for positivity and love and growth and happiness within one's transient lifespan? And every man is like, man, my life is this, my life is that. People are dying, people are starving. The world is messed up, man. Have you seen the place? It's dreadful. These people are on the streets. All this sorrow, all this heartbreak, all this pain. And Dionysus shares with him a secret knot that is a universal truth, but rather a pathway to find one's own truth, and a pathway to build oneself up from dust, from ashes, from the rubble of what once was. That truth, which is precisely the point of this whole dialogue, is carve your own path. If you can will something from yourself and take action towards it, in spite of how difficult it may be, in spite of to what degree you achieve your action, so long as you achieve what you set out to do, you are free. You are free beyond measure. You are free beyond what the Olympians can conquer, simply because they exist eternally. They are not transient vessels. They are permanent constructs. So the potential to exist between them and create art and create love and create beauty, in the sense that it is consciousness combining itself with physical matter in order to create something temporary. That sounds incoherent, and it probably isn't very well laid out. But that is what I'm trying to get across with this dialogue. I'm gonna do a part 2.